Look, man, 30 grand United States dollars. You can see here 30 grand, 36 grand, pure profits. You see money. Like, of course, like I'm not gonna be holding cash. Like I saw a video of a guy like just holding some cash, but like I don't know. I think it's nonsense, right? But here it is. Like in case you don't believe me, here we have here 36 grand pure profit collected cash right off the bat. And I'm gonna show you how I did it because it's actually not that very complicated. And I'm gonna tell you 30K is a respectable amount of money. I can tell you with confidence, life changing. And I'm gonna tell you because I need to give you like a little bit of background of where I come from so you can have an idea. Because if I did it, like you can do it too. Like I'm nothing special. I'm just a random Mexican guy. As you can see here from a small town called Tampico in Mexico. And let me tell you something. When you come from a small country, not a small country, a third world country, like you're actually very limited in opportunities, like jobs, payment processors and all that stuff. It's quite limited. However, I found a way where I could just make like 10, 20, 30K a month in pure profits. And honestly, I just stumbled upon it. So it's not that I was like a super expert in something, you know what I'm saying? Like actually it was crazy simple. I'm gonna show you how, because a lot of people, like especially here in the online making money space, like are just trying to start any sort of nonsense business. They're trying to start like trading and everything. And just for the record, I started with zero money whatsoever. I was broke. That was the reason why I started like this. I'm gonna show you in a little bit. So how the hell did a Mexican could, like how could you do it? Like show me the way. I'm just a Mexican guy, I mean, English is not even my first language. You know what I'm saying? So anybody can do it. It doesn't matter whether you're from, United States. Like if you're from the top tier country, like you have a so huge edge advantage in what I'm gonna show you, because a lot of people don't understand how to monetize this, which is freelancing. Like I did it all freelancing, so that's why I'm telling you, like all this money is just pure profit collect. I didn't have any team. I was just myself and the money. So I was like making quite a few racks, and it was much more simpler than I thought. I did all freelancing. So I started with no money, no experience, and anybody can do it anywhere, anytime. So you're not limited to your environment, because okay, some people are limited to their language. Like if you don't speak English, you're cooked. Or if you don't live in the United States, you're cooked. You can do it from anywhere in the world. So this is the beauty of it. I was able to pretty much like work from anywhere in the world, like wherever I want, whenever I want. I was, my own boss per se. And at the moment, I'm here in Bali, so you can pretty much travel by doing this and just have a very, very good lifestyle. So let me just spread you straight up, like what is the sauce? Because a lot of people might be wondering at this moment, like if you're still in this video, you might be thinking like, oh, but how the hell do you do it? So the key formula at 30K a month is pretty much just open a Fiverr account, sell something that it's on demand, sell it better than the competition, get 5-star reviews, iterate, rinse and repeat, and work from anywhere, anytime. So stay with me, because like the way I achieved success, it was through Fiverr. I stumbled upon it. I didn't want to be an expert on Fiverr. I didn't want to do like, I just stumbled upon it, and guess what? I was able to make this amount of money. I never thought I was gonna be able to make this amount of money. Like actually, it was super simple, and the reason being was super simple was because the competition on Fiverr is whack. So a lot of people think like, oh, it's just cheap services platform and everything. I thought the same thing when I was starting out. It was not the case. I was selling my service for 100 to 500 bucks per client, and people paying for it. And nowadays, like people are paying much more money for the services, and just like it's growing. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually super simple, and I'm going back to 2021 even. So it's been a long time ever since, and it's still like working as of today. So it's quite simple, because a lot of people are trying to do like any sort of business. Like for example, they're trying to do Upwork. They're trying to do like, first of all, on Upwork, you have to pretty much like do some sort of connects in order to apply for jobs, and then you're competing with a bunch of people. And when you're starting out, you don't want to spend money in order to make money. You want to make sure that you're spending zero money, and that's the beauty about Fiverr. I didn't spend any money. It's all inbound leads. I was not into sales calls and everything. People already want my service. They're warm leads. So it was super easy. So the actual key formula here, let me just explain you a little bit again, because like of course this is like just bullet points. You first of all need to have like a Fiverr account. That's pretty much the very first and the most essential thing. I'm not going to teach you in this video. It's actually very simple. You can watch my other videos. I have videos on how to do pretty much anything, right? You have to be selling something and that it's on demand, because this is like the biggest mistake a lot of people do. Like when you're starting out, you're trying to be an expert on things, and you shouldn't be. Like your only expertise is pretty much knowing how to sell. That's your only expertise. Like you need to understand how to sell. You need to be pretty much studying like Russell Brunson, and I don't know, like anything in regarding like in YouTube. Like I learned everything to YouTube. And the reason why I was able to make this amount of money was because I was good at selling. It was not because I was just for the record, I started like doing e-commerce services on Fiverr, and I was not an expert on it. I might be like a 5 out of 10 on my expertise, but I was like an 8 or 9 out of 10 in selling. So selling is the thing that gives you money. It's not like, oh, I'm very good, like I'm a very good web developer, or I'm a very good like video editor. Nobody cares about it. Like the only thing that will give you money in your pocket is pretty much how to sell, and that's the most important thing out of everything. And a lot of people overlook this because they trying to learn this stuff and trying to, they're like, oh, nobody's purchasing my services, because if people don't know, and you don't have a good offer, nobody is going to purchase from you. It really doesn't matter if you're the best in the world. Like there's my competition was better than me regarding like the service, but I was just like very good at selling. So that's pretty much the most important thing. And of course, you have to sell it better than the competition. Guess what? On Fiverr, you're competing against people from Bangladesh, from India, and you're like, and I'm Mexican as well. So you're competing like against people like from third world countries. And it's very easy to outcompete them because they don't understand the principles of selling and how to communicate properly with your clients. Like they try to be super formal and very robotic. Like it's actually super simple. I'm telling you that by this point, I was the number one in the world in my category here on Fiverr, like number one in the world. And I'm talking about, I was competing against like 50,000 other sellers or more. Like there's a lot of competition, but the competition becomes very easy once you start like understanding the principles about selling. So the whole idea here is like, as you start getting clients, which is not like quite difficult, like you just need to get 5-star reviews, because like pretty much Fiverr works like snowball effect, that the more orders you get and the more 5-star reviews you get, the more you get pushed by the algorithm into the top pages. So when you search like your service per se, let's say video editing, you will be pretty much appearing on the first pages, because it's relative to the amount of orders you get, the 5-star reviews you get, the buyer satisfaction you have, and the good communication. It's actually a very simple formula, but I'm not gonna go in depth about the Fiverr stuff. Like I'm just telling you like this is like the formula to get like actually to 30K a month. I'm telling you because this is actually possible. I did it like 4 years ago, and it was not like something. I mean, I'm not anything special. You know what I'm saying? If I'm telling you that I did it with all freelancing, no money, no experience, anywhere in the world, like, and being from Mexico, like anybody can. You know what I'm saying? In fact, people who are from the US, people from Australia or English speaking countries have it much more easier, because most of the clients actually come from the United States. You can see here, like, this is my the world domination. I dominate like 58% of the world. And most of the sales, let's say, from Mexico. This I'm located in Mexico, right? So 99 sales, right? Then we have Brazil, 6 sales, Colombia, 13 sales. Guess how many have we have in the United States? 1600 or almost 1700. So most of the people come from the United States. So if you're from the actual United States or an English speaking country, they will feel much more comfortable to work with you. That doesn't mean that just because you're from India or Bangladesh or whatever, you're not gonna make sales. Like there's a lot of people who are very successful from there. However, if you're from the US, it's much more easier to outcompete even the top sellers from Bangladesh, India, because people trust more naturally people from the US. And that's the reality. I was outcompeting everyone, and the only person who was going toe to toe with me in the during this season was pretty much like a girl from the US. So you have like a very very easy huge competitive advantage when we talk about how to make money here on Fiverr. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, your only goal is to sell. Like nobody cares like how good I mean, I'm telling you, nobody cares how good you are at building websites, or like doing video editing and all that. Nobody cares. The only thing you have to do is to be good at selling. And of course, I can go much more in depth, and all that stuff. I can teach you how to sell. I can teach you like many stuff regarding selling. And what's the beauty? That it's pretty applicable to any business. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I knew I was good at selling because my background is from e-commerce, and I was having like some sort of success with e-commerce, but I never managed to make the breakthrough. Why? Because I'd run out of money. I never had any money. So that's why I started Fiverr, because I was like, shit, like I need some money to fund my e-commerce business. And guess what? I stumbled upon like a mind goal. So I was like, oh my god, like it took me 5 years, because honestly I thought I was lucky regarding like why I was like always in the first pages with the algorithm, why I was making such amount of money, like why me and not the rest. It took me a while to understand. Once I understood, like, which was like 2 years ago, I was like, okay, now I can teach it. Now I didn't have the time until now to actually start teaching, and like showing you guys that it's actually very possible. It's not like a crazy thing. And a lot of people, again, trying to, like, I was trying to do like e-commerce because that sounds sexy. Oh, I'm gonna have my business. Nobody cares about if you have business. I don't care what service it is. Like, I didn't want it to be like a Fiverr expert. Like, who cares about Fiverr? I didn't want to be like Fiverr, Upwork, or freelancing, whatever. Like, I don't care. As long as there's money, I'm all in. It really doesn't matter the industry. As long as there's money, I'm in. So I worked my way up there because I was like, okay, I'm broke and I need some money, and I don't have any money to spend to get jobs. So I need to find a way. You know what I'm saying? I stumble upon Fiverr. It works. rinse and repeat. I double down and I start making a lot of money, like until financial freedom, But that's one of the best vehicles actually to start out when you're starting. If you have like, if you don't make more than $5,000 a month, like definitely this is like a very good vehicle. You can scale up to 50K a month. I think that my biggest month was around 45 to 50K a month pure profits, and I wasn't even optimized. And that was when the service was on peak demand. It was super easy to sell back in the day because like if you're selling something that it's on demand, like clients just come over. I mean, clients don't come and just purchase from you unless you have like an established reputation. However, you will get like a lot of warm leads, which is pretty much leads. You gotta receive messages. So your only job is to pretty much sell it better than the competition. That's why I've been emphasizing this because, like, yeah, when you're starting out, like, what would someone purchase from you? When you're starting out as a freelancer, like, I was like, what would someone purchase from me? I don't know, but like, they purchased from me. Why? Because I was good at selling, So they were sending messages because, Fiverr buyers always start like to, of course, like they will reach out to the top buyers, but also they will check on other people because they want to see like if they have like a better prices, better offers, and whatnot. And you're only goal here is to sell it better than competition. How? By building good offers. It's very, very, very simple, especially if you know how to speak English. You don't want to be robotic. You don't want to be like clients just want to make sure they're speaking with a real person. So that's the beauty of this platform. It's actually super easy. I'm telling you, like, I mean, no. Let's circle back. It's not super easy. It's actually very, very simple once you understand it. But like, of course, you have to be patient. This ain't no get rich quick. This is not something like you're gonna get like 30K a month within the first 3 months and all that stuff. Like, is it possible? Actually, it is possible if there's a lot of demand on a service. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, there's one guy from Mexico actually. This is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? I met this guy who was from my same small town. The guy was making 30K a month on Fiverr. I didn't know it. I didn't know it because I met him like 3 years after that, and he was making like 30K a month selling NFTs because the NFTs was booming. So he was from 0 to 30K a month within the first 3 months. That's crazy. Like I never did it before. You know what I'm saying? And the guy's from Mexico. The guy didn't even speak proper English. Like, no, his story. Like, I have to do a podcast with this guy because this is one of the craziest stories like I've ever seen. He's a very dear friend of mine. Haven't been in touch with him for a long time, but the guy is just amazing. Like one of the most inspiring stories because he comes from the bottom. Like I'm telling you, when he started his business, like he didn't even have a laptop. He has like a government laptop, and I was like, how the hell you managed to figure out your way up? So this is one of the craziest stories I've ever seen in my life, and it's crazy because it comes from the same small town I am from. It's this. Like, what are the odds? You know what I'm saying? What are the odds? It was extremely crazy, but if I can do it, and if this guy can do it, like on Fiverr, like anybody can do it. And I'm like, this is like living proof. So that's pretty much the way it is. So just to circle back, because you might be thinking like, oh, but how can I do it? Open a Fiverr account. Open a damn Fiverr account. Sell something that is on demand. How can I sell something that is on demand? Have you seen any of my videos? Have you binge watched any of my videos? Because I'm sharing like a very, very good stuff, like pretty much like things that can change your life. Because the whole idea here is like, if you stumble upon the right information, you might be like very well positioned to make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I stumbled upon right information. I didn't. I mean, it's very hard because when you're not exposed to the information, like it's hard. But when you stumble upon the right information, like it gives you the opportunity to change your life. So check my videos. It might be like something clicks, or some video that you might see like, oh my god, like this is like actually life changing. Because I'm trying to make sure like always sharing good value stuff or things that are actionable and can change your either perspective or your actions towards like a better life. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling you, sell something in certain demand. Just very easy. Just go to google.com, check the Google Trends, ask ChatGPT, check on fiverr.com. Super easy. You can see how many people, how many orders people have on X services. So it's super like, you don't have to do like crazy research and whatnot. You just have to spend like an hour or so on Fiverr and check my other videos, and you can see that stuff. Get 5-star reviews. It's actually very simple. Like honestly, 70% of the clients will give you like a 5-star reviews. You have to be, of course, good at delivering the service. Like if you're trash, they're not gonna give you like a 5-star reviews. In fact, if you don't get a 5-star review in your first 50 orders, like probably you'll get cooked. So you might as well start all over again, because like you cannot afford to have like a 1-star reviews in the first 100 clients. That would be like terrible. Like I didn't have like my first 1-star reviews until I was like on my client maybe 400, 500. And sometimes people are just crazy, and you cannot have everyone happy. So then you iterate, rinse, and repeat, because once something is working, you double down. You double down. You don't pivot. You don't try other stuff. You just double down. You try to make sure how can I do a better offer, how can I sell it better, and how can I provide a better customer satisfaction, because customer satisfaction will give you sustainability. This is not sustainability. You see this huge drop, this is not sustainability. You need to give good customer satisfaction. Back in the day, I was trying to be like motherfucking like just Jordan Belfort. I was gonna be like, yeah, sell, 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 sell. That's not the way to do business. When you're starting out, you can get excited by the money, by making money, but like eventually, as you grow up as a businessman, you start to understand like you must provide good customer satisfaction, otherwise, business cannot last. I tell you from experience, like I've learned from this. I've been on the business for the past 5 years. I've been in business for the past 8 years, so I have like a good track record regarding this. I didn't start like super well, but I learned from experience. So it's never good not providing like good value. So give it a shot. Check out my other videos. I'm pretty sure like you will have like a huge understanding of how to make, because this is no BS, bro. Like I'm telling you, like a lot of people like talk about stuff that they have like very little superficial knowledge, and there you go, guys, like just trying to see like, oh yeah, like this guy knows what he's talking about. Like no, you have to be asking like, what is the track record of this person, like for how long has he been doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just trust anybody just because they think like they sound like if they know stuff. Like you need to see like their track record, and for how long have been in business. Like I respect much more someone who has been in business for the past 10 years consistently, which is making less money than a random guy who just like click a few buttons maybe on crypto and everything and make a lot of money and start selling a course. I rather just I have much more respect for the person who has been long time in business, because they understand how to treat people, how to have like a good customer satisfaction. Because you will see as you start business how complex it can get to have like a sustainable business, for years. It's not easy work. It's not easy work. Yeah, making money is quite easy, but it's much more different. It's a different ball game to be sustainable over time. I have a lot of friends that they just start like making like there was like this guy like making like six figures and everything. 6 months later, nowhere to be found. People don't know how to be sustainable. So it's key to know how to sell. You can sell your way up to the top, and I'll see you on the next